So I haven't really played competitive Overwatch in a while. I still play the game every day, but a lot of times I'll just jump in, play a couple quick play matches, and then go about my day, work on my YouTube videos or whatever. Well, yesterday, after taking a bit of break, I decided I was interested in hopping back into competitive. And within a single match, we were already dealing with people shouting, using slurs, being insulting, getting pissed off, yelling into their microphones. Very soon after, we had a match where someone said that they didn't think our team composition was the best, or that we didn't need a certain hero, and one of our teammates replied with this.
I don't think we need immigrants, but we still get those fucking things, don't we?
Now, beyond laughing at just how fucking out of the blue and ridiculous it was, like, what does immigration have anything to do with this Overwatch match and our hero picks? It kind of reminded me what I had forgotten, was that toxic behavior, and it's always going to be a part of the competitive Overwatch experience. It's always going to be a part of any team-focused competitive game, especially ones that have in-game voice. This is gonna be just a nasty side effect. People raging, yelling, calling people names, being insulting, and the real culprit is just the competitive nature. People handle competition differently, or rather stress is really what it comes down to. People handle stress differently. Competitive gameplay, if you actually care about it and you're invested, will be stressful, especially if you're doing poorly. Couple that with a game that has in-game voice chat, and this sort of thing is always going to happen. The reason I'm making this video isn't because this is a new phenomenon. This has been happening since this game was in beta, but because I took a bit of a break. I hadn't really played competitive in a few weeks. Every time I would play, I'd do a couple quick play matches, I'd work on my YouTube videos, I'd jump on Twitch, I play other games, believe it or not, and I just really had forgotten how toxic it can be. And I just gave you one example. Frankly, that wasn't that big of a deal. I've heard much more offensive things on a much more frequent basis, but my time away from competitive almost made me forget about how often it happened. And then after just a few hours, I was quickly reminded. Now, this isn't enough to keep me away from the competitive side of gaming because I really enjoy it, but anytime we have any team-based game that has in-game voice, you're just gonna have to deal with it. This is just part of that equation. People get invested, people really care about it, and unfortunately, people express how they are experiencing stress and the fact that they care and their desire to win. People express it in all sorts of ways. Some people hunker down, really focus on their gameplay and improving what they're doing. Some people like to blame everyone around them. And then a portion of those people who blame everyone around them are very vocal about it. So if you have a game that has in-game voice and you get these people who are vocal about their disappointment and expressing the stress that they're feeling and not doing well at something they want to do well at, well, you deal with people shouting about immigration. And there are a lot of competitive games that don't rely so much on teamwork, and this isn't one of those issues that you will have to deal with. These past few weekends, I've been playing a ton of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. That's this competitive multiplayer experience, and it's a lot of fun. Now, if you keep the microphone on in that game, you're gonna hear everyone around you yelling, but luckily, it's not a game that requires that. You jump in solo, you're competing against everyone else, you turn off the microphone, and you just do the best that you can do. Talking to other people isn't necessarily a required part of that experience or for you to do well. But with a competitive team-based game like Overwatch, if you do want to do well, and if you want to perform to the best of your capabilities and be the best asset to your team, you need to have your microphone and that incoming voice turned on, because communication is important. But then at the same time, you're gonna deal with these people who tilt, who rage, and who use their microphones for, let's say, something that's counterproductive to actually doing well. Now, the good news is it's up to you ultimately to decide how you respond to it and how you perform in the game. Really, the best thing that I've always found is to just be positive in return, and if they insist on keeping up their attitude and that behavior, you just mute them. Do the best you can to rally around the rest of your team and still have as good of an experience as possible. And then, of course, there's always quick play. And I'm gonna be honest, I hardly ever deal with any toxic voice chat in quick play. And there's great sides to both options. Sometimes I really want to be competitive and do well and practice different strats and perform at my peak and try to win the matches. Sometimes I just want to fuck around on a hero and not have anyone bother me about it. And the great thing is we've got those options, on top of the fact that we have the arcade and the custom games with the new server browser offering a whole bunch of new different opportunities. So yeah, competitive Overwatch, it's probably always going to be toxic. It's just a side effect. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. It's understandable human behavior behavior. Although I wish people would conduct themselves in a better manner, I'm not here to police anyone's behavior. You do whatever you want to do. I fortunately have the option to mute you if I feel like you're kind of ruining my experience. And yeah, people being toxic in voice chat sort of ruins the experience. And I'm not looking to shut anyone down. I'm not looking to get people banned if they're toxic. That's just how these people respond to these stressful competitive situations. Now, I'd love to know what you guys think, how you personally deal with toxic voice chat in your competitive games. If you agree with my notion that it's probably something that'll never go away, but as long as we have the tools to deal with it, that's okay. Even if we don't like their behavior, I'm not looking to shut anybody down here or get people banned because they say shit that I don't like. No. You say whatever you want. If I don't like it, I could just choose not to engage. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for me here today. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a good one. Hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, I'll see you later.